You know, last Sunday morning, I was sitting on my couch in my pajamas, holding a paintbrush covered in blue and green paint, with absolutely no idea what I was trying to create. My cat was staring at me like I had completely lost my mind. And honestly, she might have been right. But in that moment, I was the happiest I had been all week. That messy, confusing, wonderful moment, that was my hobby. And it made me think, why don't we talk about this more? Why don't we talk about the small things that make us feel alive?
And I'm Mark. So happy to be here with you today, Laura. That story about the paint and the cat, I have to say, I think your cat had a point.
She always does. She judges everything I do, and I still love her for it.
That is the power of cats.
It really is. Okay, everyone. So today we are talking about a topic that is close to our hearts, hobbies, how to talk about them in English, how to share them with other people, and why they matter so much in our lives.
I love this topic, and honestly, it is one of the most common topics in English conversation. If you meet someone new, one of the first things they ask you is, "So, what do you do in your free time?"
Exactly. It sounds like a simple question, but if you are learning English, it can feel very difficult to answer. What words do you use? How do you describe something you love in a language that is not your first?
That is such a good point. Today, we are going to make that easy for you. We'll give you real language, real examples, and as always, real stories from our own lives.
Some of those stories are a little embarrassing, just to warn you.
Mostly mine, I think.
Mostly yours. But before we go any further, friends, if you are enjoying Talk Podcast, please take 2 seconds right now and hit that like button. It helps us so much more than you know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We put out new episodes every week, and we don't want you to miss a single one.
We mean it. Every subscriber, every like, every comment, it keeps this podcast going. So thank you, truly.
All right, Mark, let's start with the basics. How do we actually talk about hobbies in English? What are the key phrases?
Great place to start. So the simplest and most natural way is to say, my hobby is, or I enjoy, or I love, followed by a verb with ing. For example, I love painting. I enjoy hiking. My hobby is playing chess.
Those are perfect. And you can also say, I'm really into, which sounds very modern and natural. Like, I'm really into photography right now.
Oh, I'm really into is one of my favorites. It also shows enthusiasm. It tells the other person this is not just something you do, it is something you feel.
And feelings are everything when it comes to hobbies, aren't they? A hobby is not just an activity, it is a relationship you have with something.
That is beautifully said. I never thought of it like that, but yes, my relationship with cooking, for example, it has ups and downs, just like any relationship.
Tell me about the downs.
Okay, so I really got into cooking about 2 years ago. I watched all the videos, I bought the fancy pan, I told everyone I was going to become an amazing chef. And the first dish I tried to make was a classic French onion soup. Very ambitious.
Oh, that is ambitious for a beginner.
Very. So I'm chopping onions and I am crying, Laura. Not because I was emotional, but because onions are brutal. My eyes were burning, I could barely see.
Mark, let's talk about hobbies and identity for a moment, because I think sometimes people feel shy about their hobbies, like they worry it's not interesting enough, or they say, oh, I don't really have any hobbies.
Yes, I hear that so often. People say I don't have hobbies, but then they tell me they spend every weekend gardening, or they watch every single documentary about space, or they collect vintage postcards.
Those are all hobbies.
They are all absolutely hobbies. A hobby is simply something you do with care in your free time. It doesn't need to be spectacular, it doesn't need to be expensive or athletic or creative in a traditional way.
If it brings you joy and you choose to spend time on it, it is a hobby, full stop.
I could not agree more. And in English, when someone asks, "What do you do for fun?" don't be afraid to answer honestly. You can say something like, "I know it might sound simple, but I really love." That phrase softens it nicely. It shows humility while still owning what you love.
That is such a useful tip. I know it might sound simple, but I love that.
Let's also quickly talk about how to ask someone else about their hobbies, because conversation is a two-way street.
Always, some great questions to ask are, what do you like to do in your free time? Or do you have any hobbies? Or even, is there something you've been wanting to learn lately? That last one is wonderful because it opens up a completely different kind of conversation.
It invites people to dream a little, not just report on what they already do.
Smiling, exactly. And then listen carefully, ask follow-up questions, and share something about yourself, too. That is how friendships start.
Some of the best conversations I have ever had started with the question, what do you love to do? It's such a generous question.
Before we wrap up today, friends, we want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us, what is your hobby? Use the phrase, my hobby is, or I'm really into, and practice your English right there in the comments. We read every single one.
We really do. And if you're feeling brave, tell us why you love it. Use that phrase, it makes me feel. We want to know.
Warmly, and don't forget, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Talk Podcast. Share this episode with a friend who is learning English. Learning is so much better when you do it together.
A huge thank you for spending this time with us today. It truly means the world.
Softly, sincerely, take care of yourselves. Keep doing the things that make you happy, even if it means sitting on a couch in your pajamas covered in blue and green paint while your cat judges you.
Especially then.
Especially then. Goodbye, everyone.
See you next time on Talk Podcast. Bye.